Exactly. And, for me, this is my first time in Yellowstone Park in December. And kind of, I live, you know, say 100 miles away from the park. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I haven't been in there in December. And it's the accessibility in the park sucks. Really, you got to experience it before I did in West Yellowstone.
Yeah.
And that's the place to be. And to get to West Yellowstone from Billings is a bitch in the winter. You have to go through Bozeman and then go down that pass as if you're going to Big Sky. And I've had some dicey encounters on that road. Just, yeah, not good driving experiences for me. We lived. I'm here today, so we're good. No accidents or anything like that, just really icy and scary. And when you're when you're in your brakes and you're sliding into the other lane and there's a semi truck in that other lane, not a good day.
No.
But we dodged it. We're fine. We're here. But yeah, so I was able to go into the park, and I took Jared with me because I asked him, I said, when's the last time you've been to Yellowstone? He goes, fucking like 15 years ago, 10 years ago. I was like, what? Like, well, get in the car. So he got in the car with me. We got into the park, got into the Lamar Valley. Beautiful. I'm talking picturesque scenery, snow for days.
Yeah, I bet.
The wildlife was out and about. There were wolfers doing their wolf thing, sitting there with their spotting scopes. We debated doing that, but we were just like, I don't really want to do the wolf thing, like sit there and watch. If a wolf runs by me, sure. But we did that. We came across a coyote, and it was actually kind of interesting. We were sitting there, we were driving down the Lamar Valley, right by that little ranger station out there in the Lamar Valley. And we're stopped on the road, and Jared's like, there's a coyote, because he could see it from his side of the kind of couldn't see it, because where it's at. It was like 3 cars just parked there. He's running in and out of these cars, like right in front of us. Kind of like, I think he was getting a little stressed out because like one car probably showed up and was watching him. He was fine with it because he was on the road doing his thing. And then he kind of looped back around, and now there's more cars, and I think he's kind of stressed himself out. And then he ran down into the snow and kind of away off the road. And it was really cool to see that up close, like really close to a coyote. And that was that same coyote on our way back when we turned around, came back down the Lamar Valley. He was hunting field mice, and I actually got to see him jump and like hunt the mice. And you're like, oh my gosh, like to see a coyote do that. Never seen that before. So it was really cool. And got some all right pictures of that. But the problem is the sun was behind him, so he's very shaded.
Oh, yeah.
From our viewpoint, but it's still really cool to witness and see. And then from there, we even saw a fox doing the same thing.
Yeah, the fox would be cool.
It was, well, it's one of those things you see it in like Planet Light, our Planet Earth, all these like documentaries. That's one of the biggest things you see is the fox hunting mice.
Yep.
And I mean, I thought like Planet Earth makes it seem like, okay, yeah, they hunt one and then they're done. No, he was out there. We probably saw him catch 12 different, voles or mice.
Oh, wow.
In the 45 minutes we were sitting there.
Yeah.
And he just like, he'd go from one spot, he'd sit there, and you just see the ears. And they just look like little satellites, the way they adjust and the way he'd move his head, and like just hear the mice. I don't know if you've ever seen my dog, Benny. He has similar ears to a fox. So he does the same thing at my parents' house when he's hunting mice. He kind of, you see his ears and the way he turns his head and tilts his head, and you're just like, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. But the fox was doing that, and then he would gear up. He would like bend back. You're like, okay, when are you gonna jump? And then boom, he'd just do it. And and it's slow. It's slower than you would think. It's like, I'm going to get up. It's the like cat pouncing being quiet.
Yeah.
Really cool to watch. And I mean, there's a few pictures I have where he's holding the mice right in his mouth, and
Oh, that's legit. That's
yeah,
legit.
it was cool. And Jared was sitting on the spotting scope, getting his phone camera, sitting right there on the spotting scope. It was really cool to watch. Didn't see no bears, but I think they're hibernating this time of year anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'd be odd to see one.
That's why I wanted to see one, because it would be odd. Got to have another buffalo experience. Kind of drove into the park and sat in a herd. They were kind of doing their thing, pushing the snow with their heads.
Yeah.
And then the one man, he loving it with a sign.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He was sitting there. We're just watching, and he came back to it like a couple times, and he was just sitting there, just dicking around with this sign because you could move it, So his antler, he's sitting there just picking it up.
Maybe he had an itch, man.
But he's doing it with his horn.
Maybe he had like a little itch where it connects, and that was just kind of hitting that spot somehow.
Maybe. It was weird. But I made a joke of it and said, he was adjusting the sign. So in the video, you hear me go a little bit more to the left.